Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Broc, Gardner versus the world. This is episode number 51. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing because you know what? I'm trying to make this dream happen. And to do that, I need you to tell your friends, to tell your family, to tell your wife, tell your dog to subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. If you like what you're hearing and you want me to keep doing it, you got to give me a reason to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? We got to have a little trade-off here. I can't give everything to you, okay, and then have nothing in return. I'm not saying that I don't have anything in return. I love you. I love all my followers and my subscribers and all the people that watch this. Love you dearly, But it is what it is, okay? This week we had Dumb Club on the podcast, which is a clothing brand run by Rylan Montoya, Daniel Hershey, and Will Johnson. They're three best friends out of Colorado, I believe, in the Denver area. They just started it, and it was like 3 months, and they have like 200K on TikTok, I'm pretty sure. Massive following. They're doing pretty well, had massive success in a couple of months. And they're launching a new line on March 1st, which will come out the next Monday after this comes out, Monday, March 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern. Pardon me. Can't read. And their goal is to give $10,000 of that profit to 4 different organizations that will help a bunch of different things like nature, the ocean, a bunch of different cool stuff. They're doing like really cool stuff. They're not just making money just to make it. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot about them in the interview. Like, They just seem like super level-headed guys and like super down to earth and like actually know what they want to do with this brand instead of just have it be like a money-making business. They actually want to do something with it and, push forth a message out of it, which I thought was really cool. I love this interview. I think these are cool guys. Lots of good stuff. Yeah, and then after I talk about a bunch of dumb stuff, whatever, the rambling. You know what it is? You know what it is. No Broc's Book Corner because I haven't read this week because you know what? I got stuff to do, okay? Can't just read all the time, all right? But I will next week. We'll be back on track. Thank you. Let's get on to the Dumb Club interview. Broc Gardner versus the world. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I'm here with the guys from Dumb Club, possibly the best clothing brand in the game right now. Guys, what's going on?
How's it going?
Good.
Do you guys want to introduce yourselves real quick, just to the viewers at home?
Yeah, Will, you go first.
Sure. I'm William Johnson, the co-owner, co-founder of Dumb Club. Senior in high school, 18. And I'm in cross country and track. I think that sums it up pretty good, I guess.
Same for me, senior in high school. Looking to study business next year at CU. Started Dumb Club with the boys like 3 months ago. Just vibing out.
Okay, I'm Daniel Hershey. I'm 18. I'm going to be 18. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm going to go to CU Boulder for business too. And yeah, we all started Dumb Club.
That's wild. You guys are all seniors in high school right now?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty crazy. So you mentioned you started it 3 months ago. What kind of gave you guys the idea to start this, and what were your lives kind of like at that point in time, just in general?
Yeah, I mean, we started it. What was it? We started thinking of ideas for this business probably the beginning of October or late September. And we weren't really doing much with business at that time. We were like, it'd be sick to start a business with us. And we kind of had the idea that we didn't want our friendship and our freedom to end after we go to college and kind of split up. So we thought it'd be a good way to like carry on our legacy together. And so we had a couple ideas on what we wanted to do, but we landed on like clothing, and we thought it'd be really cool to start advertising it off TikTok. So we launched our TikTok beginning of December. And that's pretty much when we got going. But I mean, it was just kind of like we had so much time during the pandemic to just kind of start this business. So that's what we did.
So were you guys always interested in like business or like clothing, or what were your interests before all this started?
Yeah, I think we were all pretty interested in business. I mean, we had a few ideas before October, before this. We tried a couple things that just didn't really go anywhere. Um, but then it was just a time crunch of realizing it's our senior year, our last year together, that really gave us the final push to really start this clothing brand and be for real with it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Totally. So you guys were kind of like, this is our last hurrah, and you don't want this to end after high school, so let's just start a business so we can work together after high school and everything, right?
Yeah, we kind of said,
Exactly,
screw it.
exactly.
We're going to put like we tried some other stuff, and like we kind of settled on this, and we're like, we're going to just give it everything we got and see where we can get before we graduate. And if, if it goes somewhere, we can do that. And if not, then we tried.
Mm-hmm. So what's the time frame for that? Because I know for me, it's like I have this weird mental time frame where it's like, if this thing doesn't work out by this certain point, then I don't know. Do you guys have that in your minds?
I mean, we did. Yeah. And at the beginning, we were like, we spent about a month like setting up the business, getting ready to launch. And we were like, oh, we'll launch it. We'll see where it goes. Like, and our time frame was pretty short, to be honest. We were like, oh,
Yeah.
give it a month,
Ooh.
see where we go. If it
Yeah.
fails, we'll move on. But I mean, like in the first month, it was already going places. And so we just kept working at it, and it kept growing. So we were like, you know what, let's not set any more time frames. Let's just like go all out on it. Which is what we did. I mean, it's working out so far.
Yeah. So how did you guys take these ideas and then put it to practical use and actually start the business? If that makes sense.
I feel like a lot of that starting mentality is really just the commitment to starting, because personally I have a lot of ideas, or before I had a lot of ideas of what I wanted to do, and I feel like we all had those ideas. And then we'd wake up the next morning and be like, oh, that was such a stupid idea, and you'd never really go any further with it. I feel like in all honesty, you at some point in time, you really just have to pick an idea and just go for it, and just put all of your effort into that. You could have like a million doubts of what your idea, how far your idea could go, but if you don't get started, you'll never see where it can go.
Yeah.
And with that, like I think it's the idea is part of it, but a lot of it is the timing and the kind of marketing you do and how you really get it out there. And so the idea doesn't matter as much as like the vision of where you want to take it and how you're going to take it there,
Yeah. So let's talk about that, the marketing aspect, because I found you guys on TikTok. Is that kind of your primary marketing?
Yeah, that's where we started. It was on TikTok. December 1st is when we launched on TikTok, and we thought, oh, we'll start with just a TikTok, and then from there we kind of built our Instagram from our TikTok followers. And so I'd say that's our main platform where we have all of our engagement, but we're working in like ads and other ways.
Mm-hmm.
We work through influencers as well. So we'll have influencers hit us up, or we'll hit up influencers to kind of help promote our stuff. But I'd say TikTok's the main way.
Yeah. So I know you guys are kind of in the infancy. I didn't know it was only 3 months ago. That's insane, because you guys already have a massive amount of followers already in 3 months. So that's crazy. So I know you guys are still kind of starting out, but what were the early days of the business like for you guys?
The first memory I have of the business was we went over to Daniel's house and we were trying to figure out logos, and it was just, we were drawing blank after blank, and we were like, is this really worth our time? Like, should we really go for this? And then we settled on that first kind of ghost with the excise idea, and we were like, yeah, that's it. And I feel like that was a big moment, because then we felt like we had a baseline that we could really go from there. So I think as far as early days go, that's the memory in my mind of a big moment in the early days that kept us going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it kind of, I don't really have that many memories of it, but you kind of just have to take something and go with it, because we weren't totally like, it kind of clicked, but we weren't sure like, oh, this is like the $1 million idea, but we were like, we like this, and like we're gonna see how far we take it, because like we don't, it's not like we didn't have anything else, but you just gotta roll with what you have.
Yeah.
And learn from it, because we've come a long way. Even just from that, we've come a huge way with design wise and everything.
Yeah, going off that, my earliest memory would probably just be working in all of our basements. Like, we would just think of design after design, and like nothing was really clicking, and until we did stumble on that ghost design. And also, I mean, we just wanted to like keep our friendship lasting a while. So kind of the vision, our first goal was like, oh, maybe we'll reach like 100 followers, and we can like get like 2 orders. And then from there we kind of like reached that, and we are like, oh man, it could like go further. And then it just kept going. So I guess our earliest memories were just making those like small goals that we thought were so big at the time, but like as we crush each goal, it gets more and more real, which is cool. But I mean, we're starting in each other's basements, which is probably my first memory.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love those stories. So when you guys are having these thoughts, when you're trying to come up with this logo, and you're like, maybe this isn't really what we're supposed to be doing, maybe this won't work out, how do you combat those thoughts? Because I feel like those kind of thoughts, when people are trying to start something, those kind of thoughts kind of shut it all down right off the start, and that's where a lot of things fail. So how did you combat those?
Go with that. I don't know. I saw one of the things I think it was even on TikTok, was like, if you have an idea and you don't act on it in like 10 seconds or how many seconds, like it just fizzes out, and you kind of convince yourself, you kind of talk yourself out of it. So I think it was one of those kind of moments of, it took us a while to get to like the first design, but once we had it, we're like, we're not just going to let this go and just forget about it and let it collect dust. We're just going to go like all out on it and see how far we could take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's about getting like started, because I mean, as much as you think the design is all your brand is, if you have a bigger vision, obviously our brand isn't just our logo, it's what we do with it, it's the vision we have with it. And like getting our first logo down was a big deal, but from there we have other designs and other things we can do and like grow off of that. So just getting started, like going with the design, is probably the biggest thing Daniel was saying, just not second guessing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I feel like having a group of friends, like having us 3 together, it helps a lot with the motivation part, because when one of us or a couple of us are feeling unmotivated, like then the others, they pull up the slack, and then they kind of hype you up about where you're going. And so I feel like there has been moments where one of us or a couple of us, especially in the early days, were like kind of slacking a little bit, and then one person really pulled the weight and showed it was really possible. So having that dynamic really helps.
So that's interesting. So what have you guys discovered is like some perks like that to working with a group of people versus like some downsides maybe? Have you guys ever had some, bickering?
I think it's great, because like we were in the mountains yesterday doing a photo shoot, and like we're joking around and like we're actually having fun. Like we love what we do. And because we're with our best friends, not just really like a business partner, but we're best friends at the same time. Like, I think that really helps with the motivation and like the creative process too. Cause like we kind of have the dream job right now of doing what we want and not having to worry about a boss or stuff like that. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Not to say that we don't have like disagreements or anything, but like that's you're gonna find that in any business. But it really helps that we're all understanding, and at the base level, we're all just a bunch of best friends. So even though we have disagreements on business decisions, it really pulls together, and in the end, we become even better friends.
Yeah.
So
how do you guys deal with that when you have those disagreements? What do you do to kind of fix that?
Oh, well, I mean, I think like 3 people's the perfect number.
Mhm.
If we had like two people, obviously you could like disagree forever and never come to any
Yeah.
sort of consensus. I mean, I'd say we always play by the 2-3 rule, or best out of two rule. But usually when we have a disagreement, we'll just talk it out, and like whoever's the most passionate about it will usually get their way, and
Yeah.
ends up like that. And I just think that's good to have three brains rather than just one, in the sense that like we get more ideas, but it's also way more efficient. Like would not be able to keep up with all the work there is to this if I didn't have two other people to help me. And so I think, yeah, just three is the perfect number.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I feel
Go ahead.
yeah. Just to add to that, one memory I have was when our first blow up video, and we had already filmed a couple videos and we were pretty tired, but Rylan had a vision for this one last video that we should film. And so we were like, okay, we'll film this one video, this one last video. And that ended up being our really first blow up video that got us that first 80,000 followers. And so even when we do have arguments, if one person feels super passionate about something and they have a vision for it, we kind of just let them run with it and create their vision, and it ends up working pretty out.
Yeah, we put a lot of trust in each other for a lot of stuff, and it's great that you can have your best friends to rely on, and we have solid trust between all of us. It's like we know like we're gonna be solid at the end of the day with everything.
That's great. I think that's gonna push you guys further, is that you guys are all friends and you kind of trust each other. And like you said, when you have those disagreements, you can just see like this kid has the passion, like he's passionate about what he's saying. We should let him roll with this and see where it goes. That's a good system. I think that'll be good. So other than like the thoughts that you were having at the start where it was like, this might not work out, what are we doing? Because everybody has those. Were there any other problems you guys faced, especially early on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously in the beginning, all the like nitpicky things that you don't like have put together yet are like kind of a problem. So, I mean, just getting started, it was a good thing we didn't launch right away. We gave ourselves probably 2 months or so to like really think of our designs and think of our website and our whole business plan before we launched, because we went through a couple like different ways of like making our stuff and other designs, and looking back, I'm like, that was like trash, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd say that was probably our biggest struggle at the beginning, was like getting our business plan ready and like what kind of stuff we wanted to use, what our website wanted to look like. But I mean, it's good in the end that we had like 2 months before we launched to actually get it all set. But I'd say that was the biggest struggle for me.
I think Rylan nailed it. You don't realize how many problems you have until you really look back and you realize like how weird and bad our old designs were compared to our new ones, and we just keep on getting better. But it really, we do learn a lot as we go. And yeah. we figured out what we did wrong later, like a couple weeks later, and then we're like, oh, that was stupid, and then we fix it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you just gotta learn from that stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so that actually goes right into my next question. What did you guys learn in like the first month? Specific things in the first month of the company?
Designs are really important. You can have a viral TikTok and really good marketing, but if you don't have a good product to back it up, it doesn't go very far as far as orders.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a bunch of legal stuff that we just kind of had no idea going into the whole business thing, and then you just kind of learn. So that whole registering as a business, trademarking, getting a business bank account, all that kind of stuff. Taxes are a big thing apparently that I found out recently. So all of those things are all very cool things that we get to learn running a business together. So
when did you guys start seeing growth? Was it like kind of as soon as you started TikTok, or when did you start seeing that? And what do you think really caused that?
I mean, right off the bat, we started our TikTok and we didn't see any growth at the beginning. Like, I'd say it took us like 2 or 3 weeks to really start. Like, we had our first blow up video like 3 weeks in, I think. But I mean, it gets discouraging when you're not seeing any growth at the beginning, and you're like, oh, was all this preparation really worth it or whatever? But then we had our blow up video. We started seeing some growth. We got to 80,000 followers in the next 2 days after that. And then it kind of fell off again. So we were like, oh, is one viral video just going to cut it? Or how are we going to make this into like a way that we keep growing and we don't just rely off this like one hit wonder kind of sort of thing. And so we kind of refined our videos to a sense that we knew what kind of video would do well, what kind of video wouldn't do well. And so in that way, we started getting more like steady growth after that. But I mean, it took some time, a lot of time to like kind of figure out what kind of videos would really be successful.
Mm-hmm. So you credit most of your growth to TikTok then?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I figured. TikTok's just crazy, dude. Every person I have on here I found on TikTok most of the time.
Oh yeah. TikTok's mad crazy with like how fast you grow out of nowhere.
Yeah.
There's no other platform that you can really do that.
Mm-hmm. So why do you sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna add that I feel like in other marketing methods, it's a pretty steady growth graph. But with TikTok, it's like bounces up and down all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
depending on how the videos do,
Grow so fast,
it's kind of
but you
funny.
can also, you can just grow so fast, but you can also die off so fast. So it's like a constant battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why do you think people liked your TikToks so much?
Daniel, you can go.
You said TikToks or TikToks, like overall?
Like when people see your videos, why do you think they blow up? Do you think it was just because of your clothes, or what factors do you think went into that going viral?
We looked into a lot of videos when like we look on the For You page and we kind of collect ideas, and I think we try to make the scenery really cool and go to, like, we live in Colorado, so we're up in the mountains, we're like in downtown Denver. We try to make our photo shoots cool. So I think there's that. And we also put a ton of time into the scripts to like what people want to hear, kind of what's going to grab their attention and what's going to keep them interacted.
Yeah. And like going off that, like no hate to other brands, but like a lot of brands and stuff, we saw all their content would be in the same place or the same room or whatever, which we thought kind of after a while gets uninteresting. So we thought it'd be a good idea that, we live in Colorado. Why don't we film like all of our stuff outside different places? So probably 90% of our videos are outside in a different place each time, which I think kind of keeps your viewers engaged and they don't fall off as much.
Yeah, that probably definitely helps.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. There's a lot of nitpicky stuff to TikToks too, because TikTok's so fast. People scroll so fast that if you really don't grab their attention in like the first second, it's so easy to scroll. So all of that nitpicky stuff about TikTok, you really just have to get down to the nitty-gritty details to keep the viewer entertained and keep the engagement up. So as far as marketing goes, I feel like that's what we look into when we can predict a video to blow up, when we feel really good about how engaging it is. That's when we feel like it's a really good blow up potential.
Jumping onto that, if we film a ton of videos, and if we don't really like think like this video is going to do well and this is like just a high quality video we really want on our page, then we don't post it. And so I think that helps a lot.
So it's just a bunch of high quality videos instead of just pumping out a bunch of garbage, essentially.
I mean,
for us at least.
Like there's a happy in between. I mean, there's always people like more content's better. Yeah. And then there's people their quality content's better, but you just kind of have to find the place where, I mean, we can't pump out like 3 really high quality videos a day, but I mean, we can pump out 1 high quality video a day. So that's kind of where we landed.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of different things. Gary Vee, I saw something the other day where Gary Vee said like quantity over quality, and I don't
Yeah,
saw
know,
that too.
man. I don't
it's tough.
agree with
Yeah.
that.
I mean, if we could pump out more content, we would. But I mean, it's kind of how much we're able to get out,
Yeah.
and we just want our content to be high quality. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gary Vee says some good stuff, but I mean,
Yeah.
we have to take
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a balance.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think is the most important thing to keep in mind when you're trying to grow a brand like this that you guys have learned?
Brian, you want to take it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like having an end goal in mind, because it's easy to get caught up like in what you're doing right now, and if you don't have some sort of end goal or somewhere you want to take the business, it's gonna like just stay stagnant. So for me, that's just like what goals I want to hit. I always have a goal in mind, so that kind of keeps me going, keeps me on the grind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
we love our goals.
Yeah. What are your goals for like the next, let's say in a year, where do you guys want to be?
I think that's a great question. Will?
Most of our as far as lately, our goals are month to month, but our main year goal is 1 million followers. So that's really our only goal. It's so hard to tell where we're gonna be in a year, just because it's been such a crazy past 3 months where we've gotten so far. So to imagine if it stays like this for an entire year, I mean, we could be anywhere.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you have that end goal, that 1 year kind of million followers goal, but you said you have monthly goals, and those are like kind of your focus right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, our goal this month is our new drop. So that's like what we've been focusing on. So there's a bunch of tiny goals in there, like our designs. Once we finish those, we move on to like how we're going to promote it. And then we'll set like certain engagement goals or like follower goals for that specific drop. So yeah, I'd say that's more like
yeah,
goals.
for this month, like we're trying to donate $10,000 from our like funded by our drop to charity.
Yeah,
So that's
I
a big
definitely
goal
want
for
to
us.
talk about that later, because I just saw that, which I didn't see that before when we had to reschedule. So I'm glad we actually rescheduled, because I didn't know that. But I want to talk about that later, because that's really cool. What's like your motto as a company, I guess, or what kind of message are you guys trying to send with your brand, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Will, you want to take this?
Sure. I think our overall message is friendship. Doing cool stuff with the people that make it worth it, and sticking with them through the long run. We've all been friends since early elementary school. So we've been together for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I think that embodies our brand.
Just having
as far
fun,
as the motto
basically.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
off that, I think a big part of it is like hanging on to your youth. And that's like shown in a bunch of places, like how we're three friends making this brand, but like just how our content is, and like we have bright, vivid designs, and our designs kind of reflect the idea of like staying youthful and holding on to your youth. So I'd say that's like a big theme in our brand.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So let's get into a little bit of different stuff. What are your guys' weaknesses as business owners? Like day to day, what do you guys struggle with running a business?
Well, yeah.
I think you said it. Running a business is pretty hard. So even though we like to focus on our TikToks and all of that kind of stuff, unfortunately, that's not all the business is. And then there's a bunch of underground things that you have to focus on that are very less unexciting. So
Yeah.
I think for me personally, that's probably my biggest weakness, is having to do all that kind of boring stuff,
Yeah.
like filing in every single state and everything for sales tax. It's so long.
Hmm.
um, and tedious, but it's just something that you have to do. So I think
I
that's
think another
probably
thing
the
is time management, because we have we all go to school full time.
Yeah.
So we have stuff like that. It's a huge time commitment, and it's worth it 100%. But just balancing it and figuring out when we're doing stuff, we have with the drops going on, it's so hectic, and we have to make sure every single detail is accounted for, and all the work is already done. And by having the drops, we kind of set, it's kind of a time crunch and a time we have to hit. We have to do it on drop if we say that when our drop is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think you guys nailed.
So you mentioned some weaknesses. So how do you guys cope with that, or how do you overcome those weaknesses?
Well, I think just seeing how people vibe with our brand and just growing this community kind of just gives it a sense of purpose. And there's a reason you're doing this. When I get tired and my stamina runs out and I'm like, oh, I've been doing this 5 hours a day every single day, there comes a point where it's you either give up or you look at where you've come and the community you've built, and you're it's for a reason, and we're going to keep building more people and kind of growing this into the brand we want to be, and having that end vision in mind just kind of keeps you on the grindstone a little bit.
Don't take this question the wrong way. This is not meant to be rude, okay? But why should people care about your brand?
Yeah, Rye, you can take that. I think that's a fair question to ask.
I think 100% getting our motto across, that hold on to your youth and hold on to your friendships, and getting that across, really, that's gonna be why people stay, and why people, I mean, you can have the coolest designs in the world, but if there's no meaning behind it, or there's no motto you hold true to the brand, then I mean, it could fall off. And then having other causes too really helps. For example, this next drop, the whole we picked those 4 charities. I think it gives it another sense of purpose, and another sense of another goal that we're all working towards as a community, rather than just the 3 of us. It's kind of a community effort. So I'd say those are the 2 main things. Will, you have any more?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to shift away from that kind of stereotype of the old greedy business owners, that just try to take your money.
Yeah.
It's not customer and business owner a cash exchange. We're building a community that supports each other, and at the end of the day, we're just trying to help other people out, and to support that motto of friendship, and holding on to your youth, like Ryan said.
And going off that, it's really cool to see. I mean, what we really try to hold true to ourselves is responding to every single person that reaches out to us, and all our DMs. We don't ever want to be the kind of brand that just takes all the clout and ignores it, and then doesn't really give back to their community. So we really hold true to responding to as many people as we can, and doing giveaways, and kind of giving back to the community a bit, because we don't really want to take that for granted, what we've gotten. So.
Yeah. That's
cool.
cool.
I think you nailed that right.
So let's talk about the charity stuff now, because I saw that, and that was I don't know, dude. It's just one of the coolest things to see your guys' whole thing, especially during this interview. What I've realized, just the 3 friends just starting this business, having it work, and then deciding to do something cool with it, instead of just keep, what I'm saying, everything. Actually trying to donate it and that kind of thing. So what gave you the idea to actually start doing this thing for charity?
Daniel, I think Daniel came up with it. Pretty cool, so he can explain it.
Yeah, I just saw, I don't know, I think I heard something. I think I was actually on a run, and I was listening to a TED Talk, and they were like you can have all the stuff you want, but like what is your real purpose?
Mhm.
And like how are you making a difference, and like leaving your mark for sure, but like what are you doing to just help other people out, and especially when you have a platform to not just take it for yourself, but to really be able to expand and be able to like give back to a lot of people and help a lot of people. So
Yeah, going off that, like I think Daniel hit on, like, we have this platform, and I think with people who have a platform like this, influencers have a platform like this, there's a sense of responsibility that comes with it. And you kind of have to use your platform for good, because I mean, as I was saying before, you can have clout and you can have all these things, but at the end of the day, it won't really matter at the end of the day. Like, you'll get forgotten about or whatever, but if you can leave a mark and make a positive difference in a way that's true to you and how you want to do it, I think that's like the kind of responsibility we have to, pull through on. So
gotcha. Just to wrap it up, last question. What's one piece of media? It can be like a book or like a film or anything, TED Talk, like you mentioned, podcast, that's kind of inspired you guys, and then, or keeps you motivated to keep pursuing this.
Yeah. Will, you want to start?
I think we should go to Daniel. I have to think of something.
I think there's a ton of stuff out there actually with social media. If you follow the right people, like, you know, Gary Vee and stuff like that, they spread a lot of great positive messages of just like do what you want to do. I can't think of something in particular, but I don't know. I think if you follow the right people, you kind of see that stuff every day and it keeps you going.
Yeah. It sounds stereotypical, but I mean, obviously I watch a lot of Gary Vee and stuff like that. That kind of motivates me. And Alex Sedelka, I think I said that right, on TikTok. I've always followed him, and he inspires me in the business side of things and how I like live my life. So I'd say those are the two main influencers that kind of who I watch and inspire me. So
cool.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I don't have any particular person, but I definitely see stuff on my TikTok, and these guys send me a lot of stuff that is like motivational, business, kind of fulfilling life kind of content that just like lifts you up and keeps you motivated. So I don't got anybody in specific, but that content is really cool and keeps you motivated.
Yeah, awesome. Well, listen, you guys, man, over this podcast, like, this just, you guys are awesome, dude. I'm rooting for you guys throughout this whole thing. That's so cool. I think what you guys are doing is awesome. So when's this next drop? March 1st?
Yeah, the drop's gonna be live March 1st, 8:30 or 8 o'clock EST, 5 o'clock PST. March 1st, mark your calendar.
And 10,000 of it's going to
really cool stuff.
Yeah, 10,000 of it's going to 4 different charities.
Yep. The charities are NCAR, Oceana, Heifer International, and what's the last one?
Nature Conservancy.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where can people find you guys on socials?
All right, go to dumb.club on TikTok, official Dumb Club on Instagram, and then our website's dumb-club.com.
All right.
Check it out. Really cool things.
Perfect,
Yeah,
dude.
check it out.
All right, you guys are awesome. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you so much. Really cool stuff.
Oh, man. That was Dumb Club. You see what I mean, dude? Absolute studs. I thought that was a great conversation. If you liked it, go follow them. Support them definitely on March 1st when their stuff drops, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Dumb Club, they said their website you just heard it. You just heard the website. I don't need to repeat it. Not because I don't remember the exact URL, but just, you know. But yeah, dude, I love, like, that it's just like 3 best friends just, you know, having fun. And the part where they're talking about just like trusting each other, in like whenever they have arguments, trusting that people, you know, have a passion for what they're trying to argue for. Like, they just seem like super cool kids, and I hope you guys go and support them. I apologize if my voice is a little bit off. I know it is a little bit off. And it's because I was screaming a lot this past 2 days at state basketball. A lot of you won't care about this. I don't care. My life. Don't care. Went to state basketball, senior year. It was kind of emotional, And a lot of people saw me cry. Okay? A lot of people saw me cry. Oh, man. I rarely cry. I've cried, I don't know. I've cried like twice in the past, 5 years. And that was one of them. And you know what? I was walking around. I felt like a complete, there's words I can't say on this podcast because my mother listens to this podcast. I felt like one of those words. You pick your poison. Walking around with freaking, spitting all over myself. And people would just come up to me and be like, Broc, I've never seen you emotional. Yeah, hey, don't get used to it, all right? Don't get used to me being emotional, all right? Deep down, I'm stone cold. I allow 1 tear per year, and I've been saving them up, all right? Don't want to hear anything again. That was a one-time thing. Just want to put that out there. So I've been screaming, cheering for the boys. You know them. You love them. LGBTQ bill. Listen, this is actually super not thought out. Surprise! Hey, surprise! Something I'm talking about is not well thought out or planned. I just was looking through news articles on the computer at work because you shouldn't work there, which we'll get into later. We got lots of good stuff to talk about here. I've been thinking a lot. I've had lots of time to drive and think, and that's never a good combo for me. Being alone with my thoughts, never a good idea. For podcasting, maybe good because, that's why I have this. It's put all that energy. Because when I get alone with my thoughts, it gets weird up here. It's like, why are we doing this? What are we doing here? How can we fix this? And then just crazy stuff, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, what was I saying? I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. So I was looking through these news articles at work because we just have the computer on and it's just playing MSNBC articles, slideshow, you know what it is. And one of them was House of Representatives sweeps for this LGBTQ rights bill. And I'm like, okay, listen. What rights don't they have? Okay. Controversy alert right here, boys. What rights don't LGBTQ? I'm curious, actually. I'm not doing anything other. I'm just curious. I'm inquiring. If you're a member of the LGBTQ community, contact me. What rights do they not have? They can get married now, right? And I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing to focus on, LGBTQ rights. I know there's people that don't like them. Are a little bit homophobic. I know that. I understand that. I know that's real. I'm around most of the people that are homophobic. I'm around most of the day here in the place that I reside. But what else is wrong? They can get married. They can bang all they want. I don't know, dude. It seems like a weird thing to focus on when nobody can work and everything's shut down and the economy is Nobody's going to work. No, lots of people are homeless, jobless. Do you know what I'm saying? Seems like a weird thing to focus on. The LGBTQ rights movement. When people are literally dying in the streets. What's with Texas, dude? What's with Texas? Can we talk about this? I don't know anything about it. But what is with it? It snowed there or something? Okay, great. It was a national emergency. Why? Melt it. Put some salt on the snow. Are you retarded? Oh my gosh, dude. How long is it? How long before people don't come on this podcast because they know what I'm going to talk about after and the things I'm going to say after? How long is it before I contact companies and people and they're like, no, we're good. We know what you're about. It's only a matter of time. It will be months. 1 month. It will be 1 month. But that's crazy that it snows I don't know. I guess it just wasn't built for it, Texas. When was the last time it snowed in Texas? Apparently it snows in California. Who knew? It snows in California. People go snowboarding in California. Huh? Pardon? You ever been to LA? Have you ever been to Anaheim? It's like 1,000,000 degrees. But when was the last time it snowed in Texas? That's kind of wild. And then it just shut everything down. Grocery stores were like empty. You know what I'm saying? Kind of wild. They were without power. And then Ted Cruz just like skipped to like Cabo or something, which is kind of funny. I think that's kind of funny. It's kind of a power move. I hate when people get mad at stuff like that. When it's like, I don't know. Like, who cares? Like, if I was a politician, I would do that all the time. If I had money, dude, if you had money, disregard me. I know I have weird opinions. If you had money and there was like a natural disaster happening, you'd be like, hey, I can afford to leave and not be in this. What are you going to do? Be in it or not be in it? That's all I'm saying. And I know he's a politician, you know. He's got to represent the people, but, you know, what for? Who cares? Who cares? Shut up, dude. Shut up, dude. Dude, I saw this TikTok where it was like, it had like so many likes. And it was this kid. It was like it was like an emotional TikTok, you know, those. Most of my thing is funny, but this was the one that was like serious, like deep. This is feels, bro. And it was like, dude, this summer, I am not going to let COVID slow me down. I'm going to go out with my friends. I'm going to throw banger parties. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to have so much fun. And I'm not going to wear a mask because of this bogus virus. I'm not going to live in fear anymore. Dude, 100,000 likes on that one. And I'm just like wondering, because that's one TikTok. Let's do some math. That's one TikTok with 100,000 likes. You know, how many people saw it? Like, what was the ratio there? I'm bottom line, I'm wondering how many people share this opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? How many people share this opinion of COVID, you know, being ridiculous, and we should get back to the grindstone. Me, that's my opinion. Sick of it, tired of it. I haven't been wearing my mask recently, and you know what? I feel a little uncomfortable not wearing my mask because, especially at school, I don't wear it at school. And which is a little bit, remember a couple months ago when I said, hey guys, let's just wear them? I do believe that it was a little more, I don't know how to explain this necessarily. It was a little more like on the line, like school's on, like hanging on by a thread. I was just like, dude, we can't like F this up right now. We got to go to school. Like, don't just show up without a mask and then just like get the whole thing shut down. But yeah, I am kind of hypocritical now because I don't wear it anymore. Most of the people at the school don't wear it. I don't wear it to go into restaurants. I don't wear it to go into anywhere. I rarely wear it. Why am I talking about this? Oh yeah, because I'm tired of COVID, and I feel like most people are too, which is good, dude. Just the best way to fix this is just go outside, you know? Like, how many people are literally like, how many real people? Because I know we see people on social media, and a lot of the times we think that's like the general consensus of like opinions is like we see one person on Twitter and it has like 5,000 likes and it's like, please stay inside and wear a mask, 2 masks, you're killing people. And we see that and we're like, oh man, everybody in this country is freaking retarded. But it's like, no, probably not. That's like a very small minority of people compared to probably the bigger majority of people that are like, yo, screw it. Let's go outside and have fun. I'd say I'm in that, and I'm comfortable saying that. I'd say I'm in that pool of people. Let's go. Let's make this summer the best summer ever. Let's spit on each other, you know? Not even in like a weird sexual way. Like, let's just start spitting. In a fun way. In a friend way. In a fun summer way. A fun summer spitting. Let's have a fun summer spitting. All over each other. Coughing, you know? This is going to be so fun. I can't wait to just cough in people's faces again. Just like the good old days. Just like the good old days when I used to cough in people's faces at Walmart. And you can't do that anymore because of coronavirus. Oh, man. What am I talking about, dude? I'm literally losing my effing mind. Let's freaking go, dude. But yeah, so I saw that TikTok and it just got me thinking, like, what's going on? Like, what are you guys thinking? Comment below what you guys are thinking about COVID. Do you like it? Do you groove with it? Do you like it? Do you love COVID? Comment your thoughts about COVID-19. Apparently, there's like a new strain of COVID, and then the name is like B12379. It sounds like a Star Wars robot, and it's like, that's not as fun to say as like COVID. COVID, Corona, like you can't give that a nickname. You can't be like, oh, the Rona. It's just like B12793 strain. Like, that's not fun. Come on. That's not fun. If we're going to have a disease, let's brand it. Branding is the most important part of diseases, man. If we're going to have a disease to shut down the whole country and world, it has to be branded well. Name recognition, fun. We can make t-shirts. I've seen a lot of t-shirts, COVID t-shirts. You can't really, B19276 strain flu doesn't really work for slogans on a shirt. Doesn't really work there. Oh my gosh. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this. I really enjoy you guys. Another thing that I want to talk about, because it upsets me greatly, is people who work. Okay, there's no good way to say this. People that work at fast food places, Walmart, people that work in like big chain corporate, like entry level jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like cashier, even like manager at like a Wendy's or like a Zoomies. These people, some of these people, let me tell you some of these people. Let me tell you about some of these people in these industries, in these jobs. They're cashiers, managers of these like corporate stores. They take their jobs way too seriously, dude. Have you noticed this? A lot of them do. Pardon me. A lot of them take their jobs like way too serious. They're like, I don't know, dude. I don't know what it is, because I gotta be careful here. Okay, I work at, it's not a corporate, it's independent. But it's like, I don't take it like way serious. Like I'm not like an enforcer of like every rule. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personality. I don't care. That's going to get me fired. Okay, whatever. But like people that like, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to get these thoughts out. Maybe I shouldn't have a podcast if I can't like articulate my thoughts. But like when you're at a Wendy's and you're kind of like messing around, like, and managers or employees, especially if it's like a cashier and they're just like, hey, you guys really shouldn't be doing this. You guys really shouldn't be filling your freaking water cup up with soda. Like, what do you care? Like, my personality is like, dude, F the man, bro. We got to get this. We're going to drive this place into the ground. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That makes no sense. Comment your thoughts about minimum wage workers. Comment your thoughts about Zoomies managers. I don't know why I keep using Zoomies as a thing. But especially like mall stores, dude. If you're like the manager of a mall store, hey, you can't be throwing that football. Like a Walmart employee, dude. Apparently, yeah, that might have been what triggered it. So apparently, like, Braden was like messing around with a football in Walmart, and they like threw it at something, and the guy was like, hey, you guys really shouldn't be playing with that in here. Like, I know they're like doing their job or whatever, but shut up. Like who cares? Do you think Mr. Walmart is going to come down and like freaking give you $1 million? Like, I don't know. I guess it's like it's like a thing with like morals or whatever, where people like want to do their best job and keep the company like good reputation. I don't know. I guess it's just a difference in opinion, personality. It's whatever. But if you're a manager at a Zoomies or a Walmart or anything of that nature, please just chill a little bit. Some of us just want to come in there and mess around. Please, relax. You're not going to lose friggin' $1 million. You're not going to lose as much as I did on Churchill IV stock, which, by the way, I've lost a lot. Last podcast, I was all chipper that I invested this. And you know what? It went from 60. Last time I checked, it was at 28. I've lost like $130. Hello, stock market. Hello? What the F, dude? What am I doing? You ever like wonder if like anything you do effing matters? You know? Like I'm out here trying to make this get started. You know, whether or not it works, who's to say yet? You know what I'm saying? I don't. I have no idea what I'm doing. Dude, we have to get out of here before I effing do some weird stuff. Real quick, Chris D'Elia made a video came out on Saturday, which sucks because that was like a week ago already, but whatever. It's still pretty fresh. It's pretty relevant still, all right? Shut up. Chris D'Elia, if you don't know, got like canceled for like texting underage girls, and then he was like, nah, I didn't. And then he just didn't say anything else. He had a podcast. He was a stand-up. And then just kind of stopped all that for a while. And then he came back and posted this video. I saw it. I was like, oh, that was a weird thing to see on like a Tuesday night. I guess it was Saturday. Like I just said it was Saturday. And it was. I just said that. Why did I think it was Tuesday? So I was like, that's a weird thing to see on a Saturday night. And so basically he just like went through and like talked about like how he's addicted to like, you know, I guess it's an audio forum, SEX. I just don't want to say the word. It's icky. It's gross. But he said all his, you know, stuff was legal and consensual. And I hope he comes back with the podcast, dude. Watching that clip, it was like serious. There was not comedy in it. But like watching the clip, I was just like, I miss the Chris D'Elia podcast, dude. Because he was one of the biggest inspirations for me starting this podcast and just like pursuing this. I don't know. He was one of those guys that just inspired me. So it kind of sucked when he had to stop. And then the other person that inspired me was like Brian Callen, who also like the exact same thing happened to him like a week after. And he's also coming back and being like, nah, this is all like bull. And he's been trying to work back to get on his podcast and stuff. But it just sucks, that stuff. It just sucks. Especially when it's like your idols. Like those are two guys that I really idolized in this medium. And they just got shut down and their stuff stopped. And, you know, I don't know. If you guys ever like, yo, okay, real talk though, when I blow up, and that's a when, not an if, because I'm effing confident, you know, effing overconfident. I've been listening to so much Kanye. I have so much serotonin running through me. You know? When I blow up, and you guys like want beef or like whatever, or want to like shut down my career, or if you want like money or something, text me, dude. Text me. Be like, if you don't do this shit, I'm gonna say you me, and I'll be like, all right, bet. Here's a couple $100. Just don't try and don't do some weird stuff. You know? I don't know what I'm talking about, dude. I don't know what I'm talking about. Literally, I have to leave right now. Thank you to Dumb Club for coming on this podcast. I really liked it. Latter half was a little bit iffy. Don't know if we touched on some subjects we shouldn't have. Don't know if we said some stuff we shouldn't have. But isn't that what makes a great podcast? Isn't that what makes a great show? Isn't that what makes a great show? Is if I'm not questioning like half of the stuff that I said, it must not have been a good show. Yeah, so I will be retiring soon. We made it 51 episodes, which was great, but it's time to come to an end. So thank you guys. Kidding. Please subscribe, like, comment, everything. Leave a review. Subscribe, like, comment, leave a review. Tell your friends, tell your women, tell your men. Goodbye. Love you.